Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 4. Hard to believe that we're here already. Hopefully you've had a great weekend and you've been enjoying the nice weather. I know it's warming up, so we'll have to deal with that again. Anyway, let me get on and start sharing week 4. So here we have goals, objectives, and readings for the week. Notice that I have watched this week's lecture. I actually haven't decided whether or not I'm going to present a lecture to you. I am having you read all of chapter 4, which is titled Improving Your Draft Using Feedback and Revision. And I think the information that is covered in there is sufficient enough that for me to present a lecture would just kind of be overkill and take up more of your precious time, especially since you have peer reviews to do. So there is a YouTube tutorial on how to do that peer review, and I really do recommend it. Let me go back into the modules and show you where that is. So it's linked here. It's a tutorial done by Canvas, and it just explains how to take part in that peer review. So once you have done your rough draft, you will be assigned a peer's paper or classmate's paper to read through and just provide some feedback and comments. However, make sure that you read chapter 4.1 in the Writer's Loop before you even attempt to do that. I'm not asking you to grade anything, and I'm not asking you to look for spelling and punctuation and that kind of stuff. I just want you to read through, be an extra set of eyes, and help and give some constructive feedback to your peers. So that said, there's also this peer response questions PDF, which will come in handy as you approach the peer review process. So it just explains what to do, and there are 10 questions that you should think about as you approach providing feedback for your classmates. So that's that document. Let me go back and back into the goals and objectives. So the main assignment this week is to provide feedback on the peer rough drafts in Canvas. However, in order to do that, you have to submit your rough draft yourself. If you don't submit a rough draft, you won't be able to provide feedback. So I encourage you all to, if you have not done already, I think I got about half the class who have submitted their rough drafts. And you'll be watching this on Monday, hopefully, because the peer feedback is due on Wednesday, the 15th. And that's just so we all have some feedback to go on besides just my feedback, that you all have feedback to go on and can incorporate that into your final revisions for this first essay. So it's important that you get all that stuff done as soon as you possibly can. Again, read, view, and annotate all of the week 4 content in sequential order. You really should be getting into the habit of taking notes on things that you're reading and viewing, because I don't assign them just to assign them. There is a reason. There is a method to my madness. So it's important that you get into the habit of taking notes and annotating. I won't be checking the annotations every week because I realized that was just a lot of stuff that you have to do. But I will check in from time to time. It will be assigned each week, and you'll know ahead of time so that you have annotations that you can show me. And lastly, we have the assignment to revise and submit your rhetorical analysis essay, the final draft, which is due next Sunday, the 19th. So it's primarily a reading and writing week. There are no discussion board posts. There are no annotations that are due. There's no journaling. You're essentially just focusing on that rhetorical analysis essay. So the objectives this week are to assess peer writing and recommend revisions, implement revision suggestions and feedback, develop strategies for reviewing, collaborating, revising, and editing, experience the social aspects of the writing process, and to utilize a style manual to assist with proofreading and editing of the final draft. So on that note, regarding the style manual, hopefully you all have access to the ebook that I had required for this class. It's helpful, and you will notice in the feedback that I refer you to sections within the style manual if you need to review something. So one of those things is block quotations. If you are quoting 4 lines or more in your text, so not necessarily 4 lines or more from the article or the website or whatever that you're quoting from, but if it's 4 or more lines of text within your paper, you need to do a special indent. It's called a block quotation, and you drop the quotation marks and set it off so that we know that it's a quotation. And that is explained in a Pocket Style Manual in the MLA section. So that's highly recommended that you do that. I do have another document that I have yet to upload. It is an outline guide if you're struggling with, still struggling with organizing your essay. I do have an outline that you can follow. Let me just make sure that I'm remembering correctly and that I did not. Yes, I haven't uploaded that yet. So I'll make sure to upload the outline guide. And also, I have updated things so that you can actually look at the rubric for the final draft to see how you will be graded. So there are 10 areas, 10 criteria that we'll be focusing on. 2 in the focus heading, 2 in development, 2 in support, 2 in organization, and 2 in mechanics. So we want to make sure that your focus is relevant to the assignment. Some of you kind of went off the beaten track and turned your assignment into an argument essay. You really need to be focused on rhetorical analysis for this essay. Argument and research is the next essay. Focus on the analysis and make sure that analysis is sustained through the essay. For development, make sure that your ideas are thoroughly explained and developed, and that the tone is appropriate for the audience and the purpose. Using support, of course, we want you to use evidence and research, although you don't have to do heavy duty research, at least evidence from the text that you're analyzing. And quotes from the text are present. You should be using some quotes. And of course, organization is always important, making sure that each paragraph examines one main idea and contains appropriate reasoning, as well as being presented in a logical pattern with clear transitions throughout the essay. And lastly, of course, we have grammar, spelling, proofreading, sentence clarity, and sentence variety and efficiency. So what I mean by sentence variety is mix it up. You don't want to have all long, complex sentences, but you also don't want to have all short, choppy sentences. You want to mix up and have some sentence variety. And as far as efficiency is concerned, of course, we want you to be clear and use language so that your sentences are the most efficient they can be. Instead of being rambling and fragmented or run-ons, we want them to be efficient so that you say what you need to say in the right amount of words. So hopefully that's pretty clear to you. If you have any questions regarding this upcoming assignment, please email me. Remember to keep it around 4 to 5 pages. If you go over 1,200 words, it's okay, as long as it's not like, you know, a 8 or 9 or 10 page paper. Try to keep it within 4 to 5 pages. If you're if you're over the word count, I'm not really gonna notice, to be honest with you. If you are in like the 3.5 to 4 page, I may copy or download your document and make sure that you're meeting the word count. But in general, we want to be roughly 1,000 words, not under 1,000 words, and try not to be over. 1,200 is just a guideline, so don't panic if it's over, as long as it's roughly 4 to 5 pages. Requirements. The essay should contain a clear thesis statement, which is explicitly stated in your introduction. You should include a clear and thorough summary and refer to the chosen article. So remember those summary and response questions from the previous assignment before this rough draft. Keep those in mind. We want to know what you're talking about, who the author is, that kind of thing, as well as the rhetorical purpose and the analysis that you do. And you should also develop a title, preferably one that's interesting or creative, and that should be centered at the top of your first page. Of course, if you need to brush up on the MLA format guidelines, there is this link here for Purdue OWL. I think most of you did just fine with formatting your paper. And again, they also provide a sample paper should you need to see how things are done as per MLA format guidelines. So that's the overview. I think I've addressed everything that I needed to address. I will upload that document, the course outline, and yeah, so email me if you have any questions. I hope you have a great week. Bye-bye.